I'm sorry, Andrew, but I can't marry you, Christina Stevens declared coldly in the CEO's office of Stevens Corporation. She sat behind her desk, looking elegant in a black lace dress, her demeanor icy and aloof. Across from her sat a handsome man in modest attire. Andrew Lloyd could not believe what he was hearing and asked, "Christy, what do you mean? What happened to the promise between us?" They had agreed to tie the knot on the day Stevens Corporation went public, marking the end of their 3-year courtship. "Since we've been dating each other, I'll be frank," Christina replied, tucking a stray strand of hair behind her ear. Her stunning features exuded grace and beauty with every movement. "Andrew, don't you think the gap between us has grown too wide? It's like we're from different worlds now. Forcing this relationship won't do you any good. For me, it would be a burden." "A burden?" Andrew was stunned, never expecting Christina to say such a thing. If it had not been for his help, the Stevens family would have gone bankrupt long ago, let alone gone public. In fact, he had shaped Christina's success with his own hands. "I know this decision is hard for you to accept. How about this? Consider it a debt I owe you. After we cancel the wedding, I'll give you a settlement cash, a villa, and a luxury car. That should be enough for you to live comfortably." Christina pulled out a pen and checkbook from her designer purse as she spoke. Andrew watched in silence as she wrote down the figure. 1.2 million. He felt as if he was looking at a stranger. "Is this all our years together are worth to you? Just a string of numbers?" Andrew asked. Christina's perfect features flickered with complexity for a moment before settling back into indifference. "If you think it's not enough, I can add more. Name your price." Andrew stared at her, pain evident in his eyes at how Christina had mistaken his question for thinking it was not enough. "So you're dead set on backing out of this marriage?" Christina pressed her lips together and turned to look out the window. "If that's how you want to see it, I have nothing more to say," she replied. She was a female CEO with a net worth of over $150 million, with countless admirers in J. Rodale. Andrew, from any angle, did not fit into her world anymore. Not even on an intellectual level. This marriage was not what Christina wanted. It was too ordinary for her tastes. "I never thought years of love, countless nights together, and all those breakfasts and dinners I made would ultimately lose to the fear of being ordinary. It's no surprise. You're now the CEO of Stevens Corporation, Jarradale's golden girl with countless admirers. And me? I'm just a nobody, clearly not worthy of the outstanding Miss Stevens." Andrew chuckled bitterly, feeling utterly disheartened. Christina's brow furrowed as she glanced at him. "Andrew, I admit you've done a lot for me, but it's not what I want. Forget it. I know you won't understand no matter how much I explain. Take the money. Consider it compensation for your efforts over the years," Christina said as she pushed the check toward him. Andrew did not even look at the check. "A $1.2 million breakup fee? How generous of you, Miss Stevens. But I don't need it." He stood up and walked toward the door. Seeing Andrew about to leave, Christina's frown deepened. "Andrew, I strongly advise you to take this money. Don't be a fool for the sake of pride. A small-time doctor like you could never earn this much in a lifetime." Andrew ignored her words. In truth, $1.2 million was not a sum he particularly needed. "Hold it right there," a voice called out. A woman dripping in jewelry and wearing flashy makeup strode into the room. Andrew immediately recognized her. Aunt Irene. It was Christina's mother, Irene Cowell, who would have been Andrew's mother-in-law. "Humph. Drop the Aunt Irene. We're not that close. If you're leaving, take your things with you. Our mansion has no room for your junk," Irene barked. She pulled a small box and a credit card from her purse and tossed them at Andrew. The warmth that had briefly appeared on his face was instantly replaced by a cold expression. It was the engagement ring he had carefully chosen for Christina, along with the money he had saved for their wedding. Even if the marriage was broken off, there was no need to hurt his feelings. "Aunt Irene, you wanted this too? I thought I've always treated you with respect." Irene let out a harsh laugh, her voice grating. "What's the matter, Andrew? Did I hit a nerve?" "Mom, watch your mouth," Christina snapped, her brow furrowing. However, Irene was on a roll. "Why should I? He's nothing but a dreamer chasing the impossible. Does he think he can marry into our family? Not a chance. Oh, Andrew, there's one more thing you should know. Christina will soon be engaged to Harvey Weller once he returns from abroad. You're not in the same league as Harvey, got it? Irene's face was full of mockery as she said those. Andrew looked at Christina icily. He was shocked at her audacity to find someone new before she even ended things with him. Christina avoided Andrew's cold gaze, but her words were firm. The Weller family is a powerhouse in J. Rodale, with influence across military, political, and business sectors. They've worked for generations to become one of the city's unshakable pillars. Harvey will inherit it all one day. An alliance between our families is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. For me, it's a chance to transform my life. At those words, Andrew finally let go. He smiled and replied, "Is that so? Well then, allow this poor nobody to wish you and the Stevens family all the best in your social climbing endeavors." With that, he walked out without another glance, showing no trace of attachment. As she watched Andrew's retreating figure, Christina felt a whirlwind of emotions. She had expected him to explode with anger or beg her to reconsider when he heard about Harvey. Yet, throughout it all, Andrew had remained unervingly calm, even indifferent at the end. "Mom, do you think I went too far?" Irene scoffed. "Too far? That good-for-nothing thinking he could marry you. Now that's going too far." She chuckled with a gleam in her eye. "Just wait until Harvey gets back, sweetie. Once you two are engaged, the Stevens family will skyrocket to the top tier of J. Rodale society. As for Andrew, he's nothing. Thankfully, he knows better than to mess with me and is cooperative. Otherwise, I would have taught him a lesson he'd never forget." Christina remained silent, feeling an inexplicable emptiness in her chest. It was as if something irreplaceable had suddenly vanished from her life. In the elevator, Andrew opened the modest ring box. A dazzling pink diamond immediately caught the light, its brilliance filling the small space. This $7.5 million luxury ring was once known as the King of Diamonds of J. Rodale, truly one of a kind. Andrew did not know exactly how much money was on the bank card, but he was sure it was enough to buy Stevens Corporation's 10 times over. Moments ago, Christina and Irene had not even bothered to look at these treasures, with Irene dismissing them as junk. As the elevator doors opened, Andrew stepped out. Well, if it isn't Andrew. You don't look so good," a mocking voice greeted him. Andrew calmly looked up to see a man in a tailored suit, his hair slicked back, holding a bouquet of blue roses. It was Sean Fields, J. Rodale's infamous trust fund baby, and one of Christina's most persistent admirers. Not wanting to talk to him, Andrew tried to sidestep him, but Sean moved to block his path again. Andrew's eyes turned cold as he stared directly at Sean. "Do you need something? If not, please move." Sean flashed an exaggerated grin. "Look everyone, Christina's lapdog is actually barking at me. Let me guess, the Stevens family finally kicked you to the curb, huh?" As he taunted Andrew, Sean noticed the ring box in his hand. "This is probably some cheap trinket. As if Christina would ever want that. Let's all have a look." With a sneer, Sean knocked the box from Andrew's hand, sending it clattering to the floor. The lid popped open, revealing a stunning pink diamond that rolled onto the floor. Sean's eyes widened in disbelief. "Isn't that the famous pink diamond from Radiant Jewelers? The one they call the J. Rodale's King of Diamonds?" He gasped and questioned. "It's a $7.5 million diamond? How the hell did you get your hands on that?" The commotion drew the attention of Stevens Corporation employees and passers-by. They gathered around, gawking at the jewel that had been the fantasy of countless women in J. Rodale, a dream gift from a Prince Charming that no one could afford. Andrew calmly picked up the box and closed it, a cold glint in his eye. With things being over with Christina, he no longer felt the need to be polite to the parasites around her. Sean barked at his bodyguards. "Grab him! Make him tell us where he got that diamond. A nobody like him has no right to even touch it." Yet, before the bodyguards could make a move, Andrew spun around and delivered a resounding slap across Sean's face. Sean grunted, spitting out blood and a tooth as he flew back several meters, landing like a rag doll. His bloodshot eyes bulged in disbelief. He could not fathom how this former nobody had dared to lay a hand on him. The two bodyguards were momentarily stunned by Andrew's strength, but they quickly regained their senses and charged forward with angry shouts. However, with just 2 swift punches, Andrew knocked them out cold before they could even make a sound. Sean was dumbfounded, wondering when this loser had become such a formidable fighter. The surrounding Stevens Corporation employees backed away in fear, shocked to see the usually gentle man turn so violent. After casting a cold glance at the whimpering Sean, Andrew strode away. Shortly after his departure, Christina and Irene arrived on the scene, alerted by the commotion. "Oh, Sean! Who dared to hurt you? Do they have a death wish?" Irene rushed to help Sean up. Holding his swollen face, Sean snarled, "It was that loser Andrew. I swear I'll make him pay back tenfold for this." Irene immediately flew into a rage. "What? That bastard dared to offend you? I bet he was just bitter about Christina rejecting him. That useless piece of trash. I won't let him get away with this." Sean's face lit up with joy, forgetting his pain. "Christina, is it true? Have you cut ties with that loser?" Christina was not fond of Sean and replied coldly, "My personal affairs are none of your concern. Tell me, why did Andrew hit you?" "He's not one to start fights without reason." Sean gritted his teeth. Who knows what was going through that lunatic's mind? "But Christina, you won't believe what I saw. That psycho stole the King of Diamonds from Radiant Jewelers, that 7.5 million pink diamond, to try and impress you." Christina was taken aback. "What? Did you say he stole the King of Diamonds?" This particular gem was legendary in Jarradale's high society, and Christina had secretly dreamed of wearing it on her wedding day. Sean insisted. "I saw it with my own eyes. Ask any of the employees here if you don't believe me. That guy's got a death wish pulling a stunt like this." Christina frowned, skeptical. "As far as I know, Andrew might not be wealthy, but he'd never stoop to theft." Sean sneered. "It's precisely because he's poor that he resorted to stealing. Think about it, Christina. How else could a guy like him get his hands on that ring?" Irene chimed in. "That's right, it must be stolen." Inwardly, she was kicking herself for returning that modest black box to Andrew earlier, not realizing it contained such a valuable gem. Christina called over a few employees to inquire about the incident. Upon confirming that Andrew indeed had the King of Diamonds, her face clouded with anger. "This is absolutely ridiculous. Andrew being poor isn't shameful, but trying to impress me through theft only makes me despise you more." In her anger, Christina pulled out her phone and began dialing. Meanwhile, Andrew had already settled into a Rolls-Royce, heading toward Jarradale General Hospital. His phone rang, and to his surprise, it was Christina calling. Since their relationship was over, Andrew saw no reason to answer. Yet the phone kept ringing, seemingly urgent. Frowning, Andrew finally decided to pick up. "Andrew, listen to me. Turn yourself in immediately." Christina's voice blared through the speaker, catching Andrew off guard. "That King of Diamonds is worth $7.5 million, Andrew. Have you lost your mind? I know you did this to make me happy, but have you considered the legal consequences? Turn yourself in now, while there's still time. Don't worry, with Stevens Corporation's influence in Jarradale, I'll do my best to keep you out of jail." Christina's voice was filled with righteous indignation. Feeling disappointed in Andrew, Andrew finally understood. She thought he had stolen the King of Diamonds. "You've got it wrong. I didn't steal it," he said simply, not wanting to explain further. Christina's anger flared. "Andrew, are you still trying to deny it? Sean and the Stevens Corporation employees told me everything." Her accusatory tone left Andrew feeling cold. "Christina, is that really what you think of me? You trust someone like Sean over me?" Christina hesitated, her voice softening slightly. "I'm sorry if I've hurt your pride, Andrew, but this is serious. The owner of Radiant Jewelers is someone even I'm wary of. Don't you understand? I can't protect you from this." Andrew could not help but scoff at her misplaced confidence. He replied in an icy tone. "Even now, you still believe that I stole it? Fine, if that's what you want to think, go ahead. You can call the police or tip them off. I'm not afraid." "Andrew, why are you being so?" Christina's words were cut off as Andrew ended the call. Christina stared at her phone in disbelief, her lips parted in shock. The old Andrew would never have hung up on her like that. Moreover, he had rejected her well-intentioned advice. "Andrew, I never realized you could be so stubborn and ungrateful," she muttered. "I guess I was foolish to care. Our relationship is over anyway, so do whatever you want." I won't bother anymore." As she spoke these words, Christina felt relieved that calling off the wedding had revealed Andrew's true nature to her. "I told you, Christina. Andrew's nothing but a thief," Sean chimed in, his voice dripping with disdain. "It's a good thing your relationship is over. Who knows how he might have dragged you down?" Christina felt irritated. Although she could usually maintain her composure, Andrew's behavior truly disappointed her. Trying to change the subject, she asked, "Sean, what brings you to Stevens Corporation today?" Sean winced as he spoke, his swollen face causing pain with every word. "Christina, don't you remember? Tonight's the fundraiser for the South City Orphanage. Many powerful players in Jarrowdale have their eyes on that property. We need to be prepared." At the mention of business, Christina snapped back into her role as the sharp CEO. "You're right. The South City Orphanage property is incredibly valuable. We must secure it." Sean saw an opportunity and seized it. "I knew you wouldn't let this chance slip by. My family is ready to support Stevens Corporation fully. With our forces combined, it's practically a done deal." Christina's face lit up with a smile. "Thank you, Sean. That's very kind. Of course, we'll be sure to return the favor to your family in the future." Encouraged by her positive response, Sean beamed. "Oh, Christina, I brought you some flowers, blue roses, your favorite. They're as beautiful as you are." As he said this, Sean reached for the carefully prepared bouquet, only to find it crushed and stained with his own blood from the fight with Andrew. His face fell in embarrassment. Irene, ever the stuck-up, quickly interjected. "Oh, it's no big deal. It's just a few petals. If Christina doesn't want them, I'll take them. It's been ages since anyone gave me flowers." Sean's face twitched as he silently cursed Andrew, vowing revenge. Meanwhile, at the entrance of Jarrowdale General Hospital, a Rolls-Royce came to a stop. The driver, Marvin Yates, turned to Andrew with a respectful tone. "Mr. Lloyd, should I take care of this? Say the word and I can make Stevens Corporation go bankrupt overnight. They'd vanish from Jarrowdale without a trace. They're nothing but worthless scumbags." Andrew, seated in the back, calmly replied, "My relationship with Christina may be over, but I'm not the type to seek petty revenge. That's beneath us, Marvin." He continued, "By the way, Marvin, you're Jarrowdale's wealthiest man now. Try to shake off some of those rough edges from your street days. You don't need to curse all the time." Marvin grinned sheepishly. "You're right, Mr. Lloyd. I'll try to be more sophisticated. But reaching your level of class? That's going to be tough." Andrew shook his head, feeling helpless with Marvin's antics. Then he quickly made his way into Jarrowdale General Hospital after Marvin opened the car door for him. He was currently a doctor at this hospital. While he moved swiftly, the people passing the hospital entrance were dumbfounded by what they saw. "Wait, look at that guy getting out of that car. Isn't that Marvin Yates, the richest man in Jarrowdale? Holy cow, the wealthiest guy in town is playing chauffeur? Who's that young man? You know, he looks familiar. Isn't that Dr. Lloyd from Jarrowdale General? Get real. A mere hospital doctor wouldn't have Marvin opening doors for him. Must be some big shot son we don't know about." "You're right. Since Marvin has the say in Jarrowdale, it must be someone really powerful and not from around here." As Andrew changed into his white coat, his colleague Philip Hackett approached him with a smirk. Well, Andrew. Word on the street is that Christina dumped you," he said, his tone laced with mockery. Andrew frowned, wondering how news of his breakup had spread so quickly. Philip, noticing Andrew's reaction, continued with increased glee. "Oh, you haven't heard? Stevens Corporation just dropped a bombshell, announcing her union with Harvey. They're practically telling the world that you've been kicked to the curb, Dr. Lloyd. No offense, I'm just calling it like I see it." Andrew regarded Philip indifferently. "I appreciate the straightforwardness. So let me be clear. If you're done talking, would you kindly get lost?" Philip's face darkened. "Listen here, Andrew. When you were with Christina, no one dared to go against you. But Christina's protection isn't going to save you anymore. Without her backing, you're nothing in this hospital. You get that, right?" Andrew raised an eyebrow. "Is that what this is about, Philip? Aren't you just jealous?" Philip's face flushed red, caught off guard by Andrew's bluntness. Indeed, he had always been envious. He could not understand what Christina saw in this pretty boy who always acted so high and mighty. Suddenly, a commotion in the hallway interrupted their confrontation. A group of men in black suits rushed in as they shouted one after another. "Excuse us coming through. We need the best doctor in this hospital. Ms. Rhodes is requesting for immediate assistance." Amidst the flurry of bodyguards, a young girl was rushed into the hospital on a stretcher. By her side, a tall, stunning woman with long flowing hair and legs clad in black stockings clutched the girl's hand desperately. Her voice trembled with emotion as she spoke. "Cece, please be okay. I'm right here, and I promise I'll save you no matter what." Despite the urgency of the situation, many onlookers immediately recognized the woman. She was Lauren Rhodes, the heiress of the prestigious Rhodes family and widely regarded as the most beautiful woman in Rodale. In the city's fashion industry, Lauren was often described as a femme fatale. "Ms. Rhodes, please don't worry. Our hospital will do everything in our power to save your sister." Bernard Hackett, the hospital's deputy chief, rushed to assure her. Lauren's status and the Rhodes family's influence in Rodale were unparalleled. Hence, their presence demanded nothing but the utmost dedication and respect from the hospital's staff. After watching Cecilia Rhodes being wheeled into the emergency room, Lauren turned to face the assembled staff. Tears still glistened on her flawless face, but they did nothing to lessen her elegance and commanding presence. "Dr. Hackett, bring me your best doctor immediately. I have only one request. Save Cecilia. We will reward you generously afterward." Bernard nodded solemnly. "For a member of the Rhodes family, we'll assemble our top team. With our chief doctor away, I'll personally lead the operation." Then he turned to the hospital staff and said, "I'll also need our most skilled attending physician to assist me." At these words, several doctors stepped forward, especially the male physicians, their faces alight with excitement and anticipation. It was a golden opportunity to shine in front of Lauren, with the potential for great rewards and perhaps even the attention of Rodale's most desirable bachelorette. Philip was the most eager, rushing to the front and addressing Lauren directly. "Ms. Rhodes, you can call me Dr. Philip. With me on the case, Miss Cecilia will be in safe hands." Lauren frowned. "Dr. Hackett, is he truly your most skilled attending physician? I insist on only the best. I hope you understand." Bernard hesitated, his gaze unconsciously drifting toward Andrew, who stood at the back of the crowd. An elderly doctor with graying hair leaned in and whispered, "Bernard, given the importance of the Rhodes family, I believe Andrew would be a better choice than Philip." Another respected senior physician chimed in, "Bernard, let Andrew assist you. Everyone here can attest to his exceptional medical skills." Bernard hesitated, fully aware that Andrew's medical skills far surpassed Philip's. However, he could not bring himself to choose Andrew for one simple reason. Philip was his son. "Ms. Rhodes, Dr. Philip is indeed our most skilled attending physician. You can trust him completely." With Bernard's assurance, Lauren saw no reason to argue. "Very well. Dr. Hackett and Dr. Philip, I'm counting on you both to work your magic." Encouraged, Philip confidently declared, "Rest assured, Ms. Rhodes. I won't let you or your sister down." As he entered the emergency room, he shot a smug glance at Andrew, silently gloating that connections trumped skill in their hospital. Without Christina's support, he believed Andrew's life would only get harder from there on. In the back of the crowd, one of the senior doctors patted Andrew's shoulder and asked, "Andy, why didn't you speak up for yourself? This could have been a great opportunity for you." Another senior physician chimed in, "Andrew, we've all witnessed your exceptional skills and ethics. It's a shame that Philip's family connections won out. Try not to let it get you down." Andrew smiled gently, feeling the warmth from their appreciation and kindness. "Thank you both for your support. But saving lives is a noble act, regardless of who performs it. As long as the patient recovers, that's what truly matters." The two older doctors exchanged worried glances as they walked away. They knew that connections often mattered as much as skill, and they feared Andrew's lack of politicking might hinder his promising career. Lauren, still protected by her bodyguards at the edge of the crowd, had been observing Andrew. She noticed how he remained in the background, unlike the other male doctors who seemed eager to impress her. Her sharp intuition told her there was more to this situation than met the eye. Turning to her assistant, Eunice Brooks, Lauren whispered, quietly gather information about the top doctors at J. Rodale General, and find out the name of that doctor standing in the back. It did not take long for Eunice to return with the requested information. "Miss, it seems Dr. Hackett may have misled us," she reported, her face clouded with anger. "Philip isn't even close to being the best attending physician at this hospital. In fact, he doesn't even rank among the top." Lauren's gaze turned cold, but she remained composed. "It's fine. As long as Cece is okay, I can overlook this." Eunice continued. "The doctor you asked about is Andrew Lloyd. Apparently he's quite exceptional. The staff I spoke to said his medical skills are among the best here, even surpassing those of many experienced senior doctors." Lauren was shocked. She had asked about Andrew on a whim, but she had not expected him to be so outstanding within the hospital, especially given his apparent youth. After all, it was common knowledge that medical expertise typically deepen with age. Eunice's expression turned curious as she added, "There's more to Dr. Lloyd's story, Ms. Rhodes." Lauren smiled, intrigued. "Do tell." Eunice eagerly obliged. "Do you remember the stunning CEO of Stevens Corporation? Her beauty is second only to yours, but just like you, she's admired by countless people. Rumor has it she's been keeping a boy toy around, and guess who it is?" Lauren's eyes widened. "You're not suggesting it's Dr. Lloyd, are you?" Eunice nodded, grinning. "The very same. But poor Dr. Lloyd. Word on the street is that Christina just dumped him and is now engaged to Harvey Weller." Lauren shook her head. "He's so young and talented. If he'd focused on his career instead of being a kept man, he might have been more appealing. Such a shame he chose the wrong path." Their gossip was abruptly interrupted as the emergency room doors burst open. Two nurses rushed out, panic etched on their faces. "It's an emergency. The patient's vitals are dropping rapidly. She's barely breathing."